What's up, guys? Nightingale here, and welcome back to the Ultimate Beginner's Handbook. Today, we're going to be covering promotion and leveling units. I know you guys have been asking for this one for a little bit, and probably you have had to do many things that we're about to talk about along the way. And I'm sorry that it's taken me so long to get here, but it's been a ride. So here we go. Let's jump on into this. Let's first go ahead and give you guys the overview. Remember that inside the description below will always be a time-stamped area to each one of the major subjects here, as well as anything I think you may need to know along the way. You might see some things that are time-stamped down in the description below that aren't up here. It's just because, for repeatability's sake and wanting you to, if there's something I see that you guys need to see, it will be in the description below. So let's go ahead and jump on into the account and start talking about promoting 101. So the why, when, and how. So why to promote? Well, if you're like me, you probably have an issue and you're tired of seeing that your inventory is full message pop up. That's correct, your inventory is probably maxed out with a bunch of these guys and you're going, well, what do I do with these and when do I get rid of them? Because I would like to be able to do something and not have to clean this out every 5 minutes. And we're also going to teach you about how and why to promote. Also, you may have a issue, depending on how long you've been playing. You may also need to have a extermination of Phantasmas because you're hanging on to a good bit. So, let's talk about why you're promoting. Well, let's be real. The end result here is to get, that's right, we're after getting 6-star units. In the end, what we are after is going after 6-star units. That's what the mantra has always been about here. Always be 6-starring it. So that's what we lead into with when. Always. You should always be working on something. Now, how is going to go over, we're going to go over the full system of taking you all the way up to a 6-star unit. Yes, we're going to actually level a unit today on inside the game that I think I know who I'm going to do, just because why not? I technically should be saving a collab's coming in a week, but I'm about to farm my butt off, so I'm going to have plenty of fodder to go through. So let's talk about your first 6-star. So your first 6-star is actually 2 units, but wait, they both can't be first. Yes, they can, because it depends on how you think and your mentality. Now, I understand both camps, and I've been on both sides of camps. So let's talk about your first 6-star. Now, you should have already gone through and just now probably gotten to the point where you are unlocking Sigrid. Now, where that is going to be in the Hunt Expert Challenge. So you'll need to make sure you go through and clear out all those challenges, and then you're going to get Sigrid for free. Well, now, your goal is to start working on getting her leveled up and taking her to 6-star. Now, why I say this depends is because it depends on your mentality and where you're at. So let's hop over to Sigrid real quick. So here you go. This is probably your first 6-star is going to be Sigrid. Now, the next unit you're probably going to be after is your Wyvern tank. Now, this doesn't matter who gets done first. I understand people's mentalities of, I want the tank because they're going to be taking the most damage to be the one to be leveled up because that means more stats, right? Yes. But also, more damage means less time that the tank has to take damage, right? I mean, let's be real. That's what glass cannon builds are all about. You have maximum damage. You don't need health if you're not getting hit. I've been there, played many MMOs. That's the mentality right there. You don't need health. You don't need defense if you're not taking damage. So, but let's be real. Now let's go ahead and say that your next one is probably going to be Angelica. Now, I don't have room for her right now for what we're doing, so she is currently residing inside my inventory. But yes, you will want this lovely lady right here is going to be your number 1, number 2, depending on how your thought process goes. Well, I don't have Angelica. You have no excuses. You're going to come over here, you're going to click this little guy, whoever it is, lady, guy, dog, cat, thing, whatever is going to be over here at that moment, and you're going to come to Connections. And inside Connections is going to be Angelica. Complete said stages. Achieve rank 30. Complete 50 adventure battles. Complete Labyrinth 3 times. Raise 6 Phantasmas in the Forest of Souls. Once you accomplish those objectives, you will have an Angelica for free. And there you go. Your best Wyvern tank till General Purgus shows up. Well, who is General Purgus? Okay. Just in case you are the 0.01% of the game that actually starts with this, and I mean literally the 0.01%, this is your Wyvern tank. I got really lucky, though. I had him in my first 60 days of play. But if that's the case, there's your Wyvern tank. You will need to have access to this. That's a must. Right there. Triple HP set. Well, this was a broken set. Ignore this, but throw that triple HP set on there. There's your Wyvern tank. So if you happen to have this unit, there you go. That's number 2, number 1. Well, at this point, I'd actually say this is number 1. You would do this, then you'd do Sigurd, because he's going to need to be able to take a hit. Now, after that is going to come your Moonlight Blessing. Well, for me, I had a very forced choice because I was peer pressured into doing this because there was only 2 options. I had 4 out of the 6 Moonlight units, so I was forced against my will to get Arby. I'm kidding. No, I actually decided on Arby because I felt like with where I was in the account and where we were when the Moonlight Blessing dropped, Arbiter Vildred was going to do the most for me, and he did because my only other option was... That's right, my only other option was Daddy Corvus. So, for me... it was Arbiter Vildred would have been my next 6-star. So at this point in time, though, I already had multiple 6-stars, but if I was to be leveling an account, and that's where I was going, my Moonlight Blessing was Arbiter Vildred. So at this point, what you've just have accomplished by doing this is the first 2, get him to where he can now, your Moonlight Blessing can be 6-starred. You will 6-star this unit. Now you're going to come back and circle around to your Wyvern team. Now, we're going to talk about a couple of units real quick, just because I've seen some very dumb advice show up in the comments. And I'm not going to name anybody, but I've heard some really dumb stuff. So we're going to try to stop you guys from making mistakes because you don't want to do this. Now, most of you are probably going after Furious. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say right now, do not, at whatever point, put this girl on your early game Wyvern team. Don't. Content creators need to stop suggesting this unit. This is way better for you in the early run because you're going to be after that right there to that right there. So, now, at absolute best case scenario, your Furious needs to go 5-star. Absolutely best case scenario. You can actually keep him at 4 stars. Well, he keeps dying. Well, okay, so minus the small percent chance he's the one who gets attacked early on. Early on, he's the one who gets attacked. Sure, I can justify that. That's where the 5th star comes in. But if you have this number right here, that effectiveness number right there, at 65% or higher, he does not need to be 6-star. Or even really 5-star. Now let's go talk about another early game Wyvern unit that a lot of you are probably going to use. Alexa. Now, this unit technically needs to go no higher than her 5th star. Because again, early game Wyvern unit. You're going to eventually get her off your team. But so-and-so said, no, I promise you, there's better versions out there. And again, as long as that effectiveness number is above 65%, your Furious can stay 4-star. She can stay 5-star. As long as she has the effectiveness number. Now, there's a couple other units that we want to mention. One is if you have this unit, this will become a 6-star unit for you at some point. Her 6-star is going to give her extra damage, which is nice to help you chip it down a little bit faster. But again, if that number right there is above 65%, you technically can leave her at 5-star. I kept mine at 5-star for quite a while until I was trying to get it a little bit faster and a little bit cleaner because this is a Wyvern one-shot variation, which is why I don't need the effectiveness because she's just here to kill wave 1. This is where we also start in the beginning now. We're going to start teaching you about making minimal amounts of investments for the longest term investment. This is roughly what you'll eventually need someday, but this is getting way ahead of where you're at, but this is why we start talking about this now in the early game. You don't have to 6-star this right away. Eventually you will, and you will want to level it up because it's going to give you a lot of quality of life. But so-and-so said Mui is one of the best Wyvern units. Okay. Mui is one of the best early game Wyvern units, and that is correct. So this might be also another unit you will level up, but I'm going to take him no higher than 4 stars for the Wyvern guide later on. That's right. He's not going to go any higher than 4 stars. And because if the job is being done right, he won't be taking a single hit, so therefore he does not need any of the extra damage, because the damage is going to be coming from Sigrid. He's going to be just consistent chip damage. So, if you absolutely have to at must, he'll be a 5-star unit. So, this is also a unit you're going to eventually want to get off of, because it's a slower run. There are better and faster ways to do this. So depending on your combination, we'll eventually go over all of those when we get down to the complete Wyvern guide in a book in several videos, but we'll get to that. So next step is, let's start talking to you about how to get the EXP, because the next thing is we got to start leveling up these units. But in order to promote them, they have to be leveled up. They have to say max. So if we click here, you can see that Silk says max. Silk is a 6-star unit. Let's go in and actually look at a couple heroes that don't say maxed. So in this case, if we go to 5 stars, how do you level them up? It's as simple as this. You come in here, you click level up, I hit auto select, and then instantaneously, they are gonna be
Trust me the
max level. Now, what you will see right here is you're seeing I got a refund of 4 of the experienced penguins, and then I got a newbie penguin because I overcapped my crit. Or I crit and I got a higher experience cap than what is needed, so therefore they refunded me some experience. And now she is level 50 max. Doesn't mean that she's max levels, because 60 is obviously the highest here, but now she is maxed. That is what your eventual goal is to do, is to take them from wherever they are, and instantaneously they go to the max level. Now, let's talk about how to get those little guys. So, the big place that you're gonna be spending most of your time getting experience is gonna be in one of 2 places. First off is probably gonna be in unrecorded history. Now, why is this? Well, okay, let me even back up just a little bit. You're probably going to be getting experience because you're going to be going through the story. So as you are progressing, you're going to be getting experience by just playing through this. As long as you have 4 max heroes on your team, max heroes, just they need to say max, doesn't mean 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, just max. Max heroes on your team, going through story, you're going to be earning Penguin EXP. Now, yes, this earns you the least amount of Penguin EXP, and this is going to earn you the most amount of Penguin EXP. But you do not farm this like this. The only place you are going to be farming inside of any of these episodes until further notice is unrecorded history. Why? Because let's go talk about something very important. And that is the AP shop. Now, this is an Awaken update change. Used to, you had to go farm the exact area you wanted the catalyst. So in this case, if I wanted to be buying Rengar student IDs to level up whatever unit it is, I think these are actually Aquarius, if I remember correctly. If not, there's something that's giving me PTSD, or are these Libra? Because I think that's what, I think this is what Luna is. This might be a Libra. But you would come here and you would be farming this specific area to get this specific AP. You no longer have to do that. Here's how you're gonna be doing this from here on out. Now this kind of jumps over videos, but I'm gonna go ahead and put this in both times I'm gonna talk about this, is now it just comes down to what are you trying to get? So for me, if I'm trying to get maybe Rengar student IDs, and I only need maybe 1 or 2 of them, so I'm gonna buy those with AP, but I really say, for whatever reason, just because I know this is where I'm grinding right now, I'm gonna pop up here to West Terranor World. We're gonna go to its shop, and I'm farming 9-3 right now because I'm trying to get the most value out of my runs because I need, no joke, I need Heart of Hypocrisies, I need Rings of Glory, I need Blazing Souls, and I need Small Sun Badges. So because I know I need all those artifacts, or all those catalysts, I'm sitting on this one specific stage trying to farm this. So we're gonna take a run real quick and we're going to just show you how you actually earn it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and say this before we jump into it. I do have a couple things here that you're not gonna have access to when you first start. But right now we are at the 19th of May, when typically I think it's around August, is when the actual anniversary is for the original release of Epic 7. At that point in time, they normally have celebrations and they give out special artifacts. In this case, here is one of those special artifacts, which is an EXP artifact. You will need this on one unit at all times while you are farming once you get to this. Now, this only drops between around once a year. I think we've had 2 of these actually come through. Now, again, I know not everybody's gonna have access to this, so this is gonna make your numbers slightly different than mine, but this is something that you'll eventually want to work towards, is as you play, you will get this, and this will go on one of the 3 units you're consistently farming on. Now, the next one that you're gonna be looking for is going to be the one that is on Silk. which eventually you're gonna value more than anything else in the game, which is the friendship one. This is super, super vital because you want to make sure that you get your units friendship level up. So once they hit friendship level 10, so right here, best friends, you can see that there is 10 stages. Once you hit this, the friendship level 10, should show you right here, you're gonna be getting 3 of these little guys, which is equivalent to 3 of these guys. So these are skill points, and these are the Molagoras that you shall treasure and have basically a love-hate relationship with. This is the best way I can put it. If you ever get those, just break them down. They turn into 5 of these for everyone. There you go. We'll eventually cover that. But you're gonna be after getting those. And why is this important is because that is 3 free skill points. Just the short here, we might as well just cover it, is basically, here's what happens. When you hit friendship 10, you get those points if you do not have their skills leveled up. If you have their skills leveled up, in the case of, if I jump over here to my Bellion, you can see she is plus 15 up there in that corner. What is she's gonna have happen at this point is she's going to get 3 Molagoras refunded because I already have her plus 15, so there's no point in her getting skill points. It's just gonna give me 3 Molas back. Now, you will have to come back in and actually click into this screen once she is friendship 10 to get the Molagoras. It's not just instantly refunded. You will have to come back to the screen to get them. So do keep that in mind. I just want to go ahead and point this out because there are a few things that are a little bit different. So now, Silk is getting the increased friendship buff. Nobody else here is. Bellion is giving everybody the experience buff. Deanne is just sitting here on gear, and Arby is my perma farmer. And this is how it normally runs. One unit is always going to have that artifact. One unit is going to be randomly or potentially scuff geared or not geared at all because they're just getting carried for friendship. And one that is actually being worked on and hard pushed is going to be the one with the friendship artifact. Also may or may not have gear on them. But whoever I'm cycling through, trying to balance it out. And as soon as that person hits friendship 10, they come off my team and on goes somebody else to then get friendship 10. Why is this so important? Is because I want you to take a look at this. This did not look like this last year. You will want to eventually go through and start friendship 10ing all of these units as you get them. The only ones you don't have to friendship 10 are 3 stars. The only reason you friendship 10 3 stars is for their expressions. But for anything that has Molagoras, and there are many different theories you're gonna hear us talk about, you will need a absolute megaton of time invested to max out a lot of these units. The more you do, eventually, you won't have to do it. You can just run straight 3 fodder, and whenever that new unit drops, you pop them on, and there you go. Just trying to get through it as fast as possible. So here we go. We're going to start this run off real quick, and we're going to run through. And just remember that I've been playing for over 450 days. So therefore, my team is going to be doing things a lot different than yours, and probably clearing things a lot faster. Eventually, as you get geared up, things are going to get better, and you're going to be clearing it faster, and the time it takes to get this stuff is gonna take no time at all. So in this case, we're gonna have RB over here absolutely slaying these stages. Everybody actually has really good quality gear on, or decently good quality gear. So it will be a little bit unfair. I should technically show you this on the Ultimate Beginner's Handbook account, but I can't 6-star a unit currently, but I have way too much fodder and we need to 6-star a unit. So we're going to show you in just a minute about how to get fodder, but right now what we want to show you is the experience and where we're actually getting it from. So again, from the release of the Rise update started the Penguin experience. This is something that is new to the game from there. Now with the Awaken update, nothing has changed as far as that is concerned. The only thing right now that you want to be concerned with is getting those penguins, because at this point in time, they are super, super vital to the leveling up process. The data now shows that it is significantly longer because they've changed how the EXP curves work. You used to actually earn a lot more experience per run, but they've now converted that into these penguin EXPs, which make up the difference. So you may see somebody out there talking from 2 years ago saying dog walking is still the best, you need to get you need to carry this and this and this. That's not necessarily the case. The curves are completely different. You don't earn the same rate of experience, so therefore it's now taking significantly longer to level it up. Okay, so you can see I earned 2 penguins. Now, you might earn 1 penguin, and that's mostly due to how does this react. So what's happening is, Each one of these 4 units earns EXP. Once they are max leveled, all their capped experience goes into this bar. Whenever it levels up, you will get a penguin. And every time that bar completely levels up, you get a penguin. So that's how I was able to obtain 2, because that 10,000 was able to push it through the rotation twice. That's where you're gonna actually get your experience from. Now, what sucks is the numbers you're about to see here in a few minutes may or may not startle you, but we'll get to that in a minute. So let's go ahead, now that we are officially hard capped on units, let's go talk about foddering up units. Now, let's go ahead and just say you're an early game player, you're still not to the 1-10-10, all right? You're not there. Because I had to do this, I can say with 100% at some point in the early game, you're probably just gonna have to come over here and do this. And you're gonna click Hero Transmit, and then you're gonna get your gold value right there. And you're gonna have to do this. Why? Because you're gonna have so much fodder coming in, you're gonna be like, I literally have no space, and what do I need to do with this? Well, I can tell you that on my Ultimate Beginner's Handbook account, my entire waiting room is filled with fodder, and my entire sidebar is filled with fodder, and I had to do this at least once, maybe twice, till I got the point where my 4 main heroes got leveled up. That's why it's so important that we say carry max level heroes, because as soon as one hits max, the next one starts leveling up faster, because there's penguins starting to roll in, and as each one of those 4 heroes gets maxed, this all of a sudden now starts becoming, now you can start leveling fodder. So let's talk about and actually demonstrate how to level fodder. So in this case, it's just like what happened a few minutes ago with the hero. You're gonna come in and you're just gonna click auto and level up. So we're gonna do this a few times just because I do have a good bit of fodder, just so you can see a couple different of the proc rates here. See if we get anything else. Also, I shouldn't ever proc and get an epic because I'm not gonna be 50,000 over cap. It's impossible. But I can be over capped to where if it grates off of the 3, I can get a refund of one of these because of how it rounds up. So we're just gonna do just a couple more of these and jump in and show you what we mean. All right, that should be enough. I didn't actually count. Normally I hard count this out so that I know exactly where I'm at and how many I need to level up, because again, I try to do this in as few clicks as possible. All right, well, the next step is let's actually level one of these up. So if I come here to grade, and we're just gonna do this to make this life easier, we now have some max fodder. I'm only gonna assume you don't have Phantasmas, maybe you do. It's the same process, it doesn't matter what, but you've had to force a few of these up now. You come here to promotion, and now you do not want to put in the ones that say maxed. Shouldn't have to say this, but you know what? There's a warning label for everything nowadays. Don't put the max ones in, it's a waste of penguin experience. So there's my warning label. Now, you come in and you grab 2. Doesn't matter what you grab. I could literally put any one of these 2-star fodder in here. Doesn't matter what. And now we're going to promote him. Now, this is the really slow way of doing things. There's a better way. There's a faster way. A much easier, lot less painful. Okay, that is that guy over here. So that helm pushing upward, or whatever you want to call this. Whatever you think this icon looks like. It looks like a helm to me with some arrows pointing up. So you're going to click on that. Now, your menu may look a little bit different than mine, so let's set yours up properly in case it's not. So, understanding this menu for bulk promotion. So, bulk promotion is probably your best friend when you have to mass produce a unit very quickly. So, we're going to uncheck all of these just to walk you through each step. So, obviously, this is probably self-explanatory. The 2-star is all the 2-star fodder. Now, what it's saying here is by checking this box, you are now allowing it to use white Phantasmas in your hero promotion settings. By checking this box, it's now saying that you can use yellow Giga Phantasmas as your promotional materials. And by clicking this box, which I almost would never recommend doing because this can get you in danger if you do not know what you're doing, by clicking that box, it'll allow you to use the black ones, the Giga Phantasm, or Mega, Terra Phantasmas. It'll allow you to use the Terra Phantasmas as fodder, which means that can go into themselves. Don't do that, it's a waste of experience. So never go up that far. Now, obviously, you can set it up to do not promote locked heroes. I don't recommend doing that because you're probably going to want to lock all your 3 and 4 star heroes as you're working on them so you don't fodder out your original copies. Again, I should also say at this point, you're going to want to make sure that you have at least one of your copies, and I'm going to show you a little cool tip here in just a second. So, promote a higher grade heroes first. This can or cannot be what you want to do. Personally, in my opinion, I don't like doing this because I want to get the fodder taken up first. Then we'll promote the higher grade. Now, this one you should not use until you have completed an achievement at that point. And that achievement is there is an achievement for triple S'ing your heroes. So that means every time you get a 3-star hero, it's going to go to triple S until this is done. I think there's 30 iterations of it. So this is like over 100-something triple S units. You'll never use that until that point, ever. Use Phantasmas as a hero ingredient for heroes first. Yes, you could technically use this, but I don't care. Let it use everything, whatever I've got. And use memory and printed heroes as ingredients never should be checked because you do not want your foddered ones to be used. So that's as far as you would want to go. Now, this is where it feels really, really good to click the button. So as you can see, we have 10 different options here. And basically what it's showing you is these were all the ones that say max. These are all the ones that are not maxed. The feel good of that relief, that pressure taken off of you that your inventory is about to go just like that is now absolutely, you now have some breathing room. In one click, 10 heroes just got promoted. Now, doesn't that feel a lot better? I'm telling you what, it does. Now, here's another pro tip. Now, this one's for a little bit later on down the road, but here's something to consider. When you come in and you look at your fodder, not your Phantasmas, so your actual heroes. So I'm going to lock out the Phantasmas. That right there means promotional Phantasmas, so things that aren't normal dropped units. So you come in here and you see that you have 6, or in my case, I have 17 2-star fodder, which means I actually have 9. Well, theoretically, 8. I have 8 fodder. So for every 2, you can technically come to the Forest of Souls, which we haven't really talked about, but you can technically just go ahead and mass spam your growth altar. In this case, I'll do it for the video. This is the pop-up warning saying that you're about to consume a crap ton of stigma. And there's instantly 10 dogs. Hooray. I'm so glad that this is now not being taken from this. We're going to be covering Forest. We're going to be covering the whole sanctuary soon, but I wanted to go ahead and show this here because that's how I get mine later on down the road, and that's probably how most of you are going to end up doing this later down the road. Early on, you're going to need your stigma, so don't be doing what I just did. That's also a backup plan because I don't think I mathed out this thing completely, so I think I might be no short. If not, I'm going to end up pausing the video in a few minutes and getting a few extra fodder. So, once again, I've now have 10 Phantasmas, and here we go. Well, actually, I don't. I ran out of fodder. So there you go. I have 8 Phantasmas that we're going to send up. See, it was trying to give me these 4 stars, which we'll do in a minute. And here we go. All right, so now we've kind of got the bulk promotion thing down. Now, what we need to figure out is who the heck are we going to promote? Well, in my case, I'm in a little bit of a pickle because most of these units I don't really care about right now because I don't really have gear for any of them. And that's really one of the things you have to look at when it comes to promoting units. What can you gear now? What is going to give you benefit? What is going to give you value early on? Also, just in case some of y'all are wondering, that is the skin. That is not a second type of Arbiter Vildred. Because I know some of you are brand new and probably don't know. And you just saw his name and you saw his look going, wait, what was that one? Same unit skin. So in my case, I'm looking going, what do I have gear for? In this case, I think the only one I could potentially put some weird gear on today, or well, not even today. You know what? I've had her for almost a year now, and we haven't promoted her to 6-star. Let's go ahead and give Kisei some love. So, I absolutely love and adore Jugs, and I haven't been able to use Jugs, but I'm going to find a way to use Kisei, because Kisei is awesome. So, this is what we're going to do today. Our mission is to get this unit 6-star. So, right now, I have 2 Terra Phantasmas. So, the mission objective here is I need 3 more 5-star fodder. So let's go ahead and talk about Phantasmas and really the value and how I look at this, because there's some old information out here that also kind of needs to be put to rest. It's no longer how this works. So let's jump back to the Phantasma page. So How you sort that, just remember how you filter that is you just click that and now you can see all your Phantasmas. Now, why I want to see this is because these are probably what you're going to have the most of after you get started from the super early game. Doesn't matter what units get taken to 5-star. Remember that. It doesn't matter if it's a 2-star fodder that goes to 5-star or if these Terra Phantasmas go to 5-star. It doesn't matter. You could chuck 5-star units in there. Don't do that. But you know what? Just for the sake of the video, let's go ahead and play the precaution game. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't summoned a Kisei. Now, would I actually imprint this Kisei with a Kisei? So I'm checking my storage here. No. Since it sorts it from highest to lowest rarity, my highest is a 4-star hero. I don't have any 5-stars in here. Let me go ahead and check my waiting room. Do I have another Kisei in here? So I look through, I see some Sermias, some Araminthas, Ball, Charlotte, Cecilia, a lot of Eddas. We have Elena, my Sigrid, we have a Crow, we have, I do have a Kisei. So, for the sake of the video, here's what we're gonna do. We're going to take this out. So, I have a Kisei, my Kisei is going to be used. Now, please don't hate me, yes, I have 3, ML5s just sitting here that are dupes. She's eventually going to get fed. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing here, and this is 100% getting built on a second build. All right, but that's what you want to do. You want to make sure that you don't have any dupes, because now I only need 2 more 5-star Phantasmas, or 5-star heroes. So let's pop back over here. Now, here's something pretty cool, is because we're going to be doing Kisei, it doesn't matter which order the promotion goes in because this counts as a promotional material. So we're gonna not only unlock her B imprint, but we're now 2 fodder away from her being 6-star. So let's go ahead and make 2 more 6-star fodder. Now, we're gonna go over the numbers here in in a minute, and I'm gonna give you the full breakdown on what you need. But I can already tell you on what I need to go ahead and actually rip this. So we're gonna go ahead, level those up. There we go, we got some more 4 stars. Oh yeah, the bad information while we're sitting here. I completely forgot about this. Phantasmas reminded me of it. All right, back in the day, prior to the Rise update, so remember, it goes the Rise update, then the Awaken update. Prior to this, back when you would dog walk, you would have to level this guy up, and you'd have to level this guy up at the same time. Because you couldn't carry 3 white Phantasmas on a team. You could carry 1 Giga, and you could carry 1 Mega, and you would carry a 2-star fodder on your team. So you'd carry a fodder with you, with your main farmer. Now, back in the day, because of how the EXPs work, they said you had a tier system of how you foddered because of the experience gained. So they always told you never fodder 3-star or the Terras into the or the Gigas into the Terras and all this stuff. At this point, it no longer matters because you're no longer dog walking. So that's right. Today, what we're gonna do is we only need let's see here. That's 4. So we only need those 2 Terras to actually go to 4-star or to 5-star. So here's one, which it's gonna promote them because if I actually did this. This is why I say don't normally do this. But if we now go here. Did it not? I think they're locked. Hold on. Why isn't he not going up? It should do it. That's weird. That is really weird. I should technically do that. Yeah. Weird. I know that works for heroes, which I'll show you in a second. So if we go in here, we need 1. We need 1 more. It's weird. I always thought that did that. Well, you learn something new every day, or you get reminded because you never really use it. Because I always do it manually anyway, but I know you can. And here is when we make this other one. So we are 1 short, so which means we need 3 more Mega Phantasmas to be. We need 3 more Megas to go to max level. So we're just going to jump in here. It doesn't matter where. So here is number 1. Here is number 2. And here is number 3. All right. Now promotion. Well, in this case, we don't want to use promotion. We want to use the quick and easy way. Come up here to the quick enhance. Doesn't matter what we're using. It's going to use these guys first, which is exactly the way I want to do it. There we go. And now we just rip this one more time. See if it does show up here. No, it does not. It will not let me do that. I always swore we could do those. But like I said, you learn something new every day. I know this works with the 5 stars, or at least I always thought this did. Yep. Okay, here we go. Promotion. 4 Phantasmas. Could technically use Dingo. Doesn't really affect me. And there we go. Now, it won't do this because we are doing this with Kisei. If I had the 5th one, I could technically show you this. Should technically work, but there you go. We have the 5 Phantasmas here to be able to level this up. Now, you may not have fodder, or you may not have a unit, which is fine. It's just 5 fodder. But you can do this all at once. So she's gonna get her B imprint, which is great. And here we go. 6-star Kisei, hooray. But why didn't you do that to Jugs? Because I'd rather have it in Kisei. All right, now, what's next? We gotta level her up again. This one hurts. 119 penguins, no thank you. And that's the only thing about auto, is it does not recognize the experience first. Now this is something I want quality of life change, as I wish that it would take it from the highest penguin to the lowest value penguin first. So we're just gonna go ahead and mass spam these little dudes in here because I am not about to waste all those small penguins when we have all these experienced penguins just chilling out. So pray it procs, it does. We're gonna probably get an epic back. Nope, we get 22 refunded off of that. Oh, I love when this one happens. So that just cost me a whole lot less experience. A lot less experience. So that's great. I love it when it procs like that. So thank you, Kisei, for doing that for the video. You are amazing. Thank you. All right. Well, let's talk nerdy. So that's how we go and actually get a 6-star hero and completely max them out in one run. But let's go talk about some numbers. All right. So here we go. Here's the numbers breakdown for what we've just talked about, and we're gonna go through this really, really quick. So I can already see your eyes just fell out of your head because they probably came down here to that number. That's right. It takes 300 2-star units, assuming that they are the only unit going up, to be a 6-star unit. But here we go. So it takes 5 5-stars to make a 6-star unit. It takes for a 4-star, it takes 4 to promote, and it'll take 25 total units to do it. That's counting the 4 that are getting leveled up, plus the 5 that are getting leveled up, plus their fodder. Then for 3-star units, it takes 3 heroes to promote them, which is a total of 100 fodder in total, and then you will need 300, which basically means you'll need a 100 max levels to finish off the 2-stars. So this is the breakdown for the number of fodder you will need. Now, this is just something you can plan ahead, and you can just keep burning them over time. Just keep getting them moved up to that 3-4-star variant, and once you get them in the 4-star, that's where you can kind of start hoarding them, and then eventually you'll hoard them into the 5-star variant, which I never really have ever been to that position where I have a bunch unless I've pre-planned and preloaded them for specific units dropping. Now, we're still not done. So, we talked about penguins, and this one's the one why I said this one's gonna get expensive, is let me go back over here to my inventory, and let's just jump back here to BlueStacks real quick, and remember, take note of this. 400, or 4,000, we have 61, and I have none of the epics. So some, again, bad advice that rolls around is you get told as new players to sell those and the epics because they have their high gold value, and they have some of the epics have silver transmit stones, and you have over 4,000 of those. You can easily sell a few of them. Well, let's just, again, go here, take a look at that yellow number, go here, take a look at that number. Now, let's explain this to you so that this is not as crazy sounding and crazy looking as it looks. So, from taking a unit from 1 to 50, is going to take 107 penguins, assuming you don't get that great or good proc. It's going to be straight up, it's going to, for where I'm at, and I'll explain all the other numbers in a minute. From 50 to 60 is going to take 121. As you saw just a minute ago, it said 119. Again, it's because of where I'm at from when I last did the math. As far as for the 2 stars, it's going to take 300 penguins to do that. It's going to take 200 penguins to do the 3 stars and 90 to do the 4 stars, giving you a grand total to 1 to 60 a unit, 818, assuming you don't get a singular proc. Now, here's where the math gets a lot better. You just saw me get refunded 22 of those greater, or those experienced penguins. 22 got refunded. That's massive amount of experience I just saved. So that was a massive chunk of those I just got back. Now, we can take this a step further, because I'm not done yet scaring you away from doing fodder. All right, well, how much gold does it cost to level up a unit? Well, okay, for promoting a 3-star, it's 10,000 gold. Promoting a 4-star is 20,000 gold. Promoting a 5-star is 40,000 gold, and 150,000 to promote a 6-star unit. Now, it costs 600 gold per penguin. It's a fixed rate when you level up penguins. Now, do you see why I do those max level ones? Well, it actually is balanced out, but still, it's 600 gold per penguin. So in total, it's going to cost you 490,800 gold to level up penguins only, and just penguins. And total leveling cost is going to be, as far as leveling things up, promoting up all those units, it's going to cost you 1,850,000 gold. And then the total 6-star cost, counting penguins, is going to cost you 2,340,800 gold to level it up. Now, assuming you don't do a singular proc when it comes to penguins. Now, why is this important? Well, it's because when we go back here and we talk about these, obviously, having a bunch of these is going to be handy. Going through 800 can actually happen. I've had times where I've done every single leveling up that it sucks. It sucks. I've gone from 1 to 50 countless times on heroes and it doesn't hit at all. We got really lucky that we got the great one on the video today so that you can see it exists. I use these first, then I use those when it comes to leveling up heroes. When I'm leveling up fodder, it's always the little guys. Now, when it comes to some other little tricks that I have left, because it's about the numbers, we're going to actually level up Mooey real quick. So if I remember correctly, I think Mooey should be maxed, and he is still 3-star. So I need to go grab 2 more from my warehouse. Actually, for me, it doesn't really matter where I grab them. I have a bunch of them that I've been putting aside, waiting to level him up. But we're going to show you one last little trick. So my one last little thing is the efficiency of promoting units. Now, this one comes down to for your 3-star fodder. I said I was going to wrap back around to this. So, to help cut down on your fodder needs, when you are working on 3-star units, you don't technically have to just spam them in and get them triple S. Well, you're probably going to have a bunch of them depending on where you're farming at or where you're, like, I shouldn't say farming, but it depends on what banners are around and how deep you're pulling early on, because there are times where you will have access to being able to pull a good chunk. But in this case, for us, we are going to show you another little trick. So, with Mooey, you can use his as fodder. So we're going to show that here we can take him to S rank just instantaneously by doing this. And this cuts down on having to use any of the fodder here that we have saved up. Now, obviously, I still have a bunch of fodder here. It's because I am prepping for collab units because I don't know what's about to come. But anyway, so here you go. Here's the last way of doing it. Now, you can be efficient when doing this. Now, I typically did this for important MLs or MLs that I was like wanting to build. And I typically more do this for 4 stars than I do 3 stars because in theory, you are going to be going through a lot. An absolute lot. See, there we go. Didn't even proc. So it cost me every single one of them. You're going to be going through a lot of 3 stars. But what you don't typically get a lot of, or I should say a bunch, is your 4 stars. Now, why is this important? Is because your natural 4-star units is probably better to rank them up on their own. So you notice Rose here doesn't have anything. If I figured out which Rose I wanted to do, I could go grab my Rose dupes, and I could take this Rose or my Shadow Rose, which I think is down here. I could do that and promote her to her, yeah. So I could promote either one of those Roses up to 5-star. I typically recommend you wait on imprinting them, or if you just absolutely need to get the unit up, obviously you need to go ahead and promote them up. But in the case for me, I can give you an example of one that happened to me here not too long ago, was Acades. We did this one live on stream the other day. She was already 5-star, and she already had her S imprint. So when I made her 6-star, I just made her triple S by using 2 extra fire Acades, and then the rest was fodder. So you'll want to balance out like that when it comes to promoting some of these 4-star units. As far as 3 stars go, obviously you can instantly take them to, if you have the dupes, you can take them to 4-star by using them. If you see them sitting there, you don't need to waste fodder on those, but don't wait around on it if you are trying to work on clearing out some space and you need the unit. If you need it, so in the case for, let's say, Adventurer Roz, he doesn't have any imprints, so you have to level him up. Actually, he does have an imprint, but he doesn't have a unit. Let me rephrase that. It's the strength of Illyrios, or however you say it. It's the little, like, glowy moon, cool, glowy rock. I don't know what to... If I was on the Beginner's Handbook account, you'd be able to see that. But that's his imprint, but he doesn't actually have a unit that will drop that you'll feed into Roz. Same with Mercedes, you will want to use the cracks in the world. Let's just go ahead and throw that out there. Mercedes, you will probably want to pop a potion on. You will probably want to pop a potion. I'm going to get into the whole... Actually, let's go ahead and talk about that. One final category we're going to throw in here, because I wrote it down and I forgot to put it on my thing. I see it right here on my notepad. I remembered it right before the video ended. Okay, I was asked a couple times to put in a few units that were absolute musts if I had a bottle to level up instantly a unit. So here we go, we're gonna cover units. Now, first off, you should always technically look for the priority of a 3-star to a 4-star unit. Why? Because the 3-star is gonna cost you more to level up. Now, those units, we're gonna go ahead and say are this. Doris. If you have a bottle, pop it on Doris. Absolutely 100% hands down one of the best 3-stars you can get in the game. That is a pain in the butt to get her imprints. Pop this bottle on Doris. She will carry you through the entire Soul Weaver things. Literally. Guild Wars, she's amazing for. Early Arena, she's amazing for. She's good for low-level RTA. Yeah, that's right. I said it. She's good for low-level RTA. You may not be able to get away with it every time in Emperor or above, but I promise you, you can catch some people off guard with Doris. Let's see here. You can technically use it on Roz. Again, he has no imprints, so if you really want to start using Roz, he's good. Another one that you're going to get early on is going to be Commander Lorena. Commander Lorena is a good one that you might want to consider popping the bottle on. Doesn't actually, you can level this up normally, but this will be one that you'll struggle to get imprints for because, again, Moonlight Hero. Typically, these suggestions should be the Moonlight Heroes. Why? Because most of the RGBs, it just is going to take you time to get them, where the Moonlights are a little more rare. And just in a quick glance through this, let's see if I see any others in here that I would recommend for a new player. Doesn't mean that necessarily it's bad for a more advanced player. I've already got some of these promoted up, so I've just kind of got to scan through. Let's see. Camilla, if you have her, depending on where you're at, might be. We're going to put her as just an honorable mention. We're not going to full commit to her. Pillis is a good one, depending on where you're at in your play, but early game, if you've got Doris, I'd do that over this, and there's a few others that I'm going to say over that, but, she can go arguably up there, because she's pretty cool. Doris, obviously, and I think that is... yeah, that's it. Okay, now let's talk about some 4-star heroes that will be of value. First off, the number one value one that I see is Mercedes, because again, she doesn't have any imprints. You will be using the cracks in the world to get her imprints to make her triple S. This is the one unit. You do not want to triple S the Celestial Mercedes. Triple S this, because as soon as you get Magic for Friends, you're going to thank me later. Okay, next up for 4 stars, there's a few others here. Now, again, depending on where you're at, technically he's a little bit easier to get because his green exists. But General Purgus, if you have him on your account and you have a bottle, pop that, especially if you're needing a better Wyvern team. This is definitely a good buy here to go ahead and instantly 6-star him, get him ready to rock and roll. Another good 4-star hero, if we go look through some of mine, would be, Clarissa is a great bottle unit. So if you happen to have it early on and you want to use your bottle of knowledge, there you go, instant 6-star Wyvern unit, good to go. But again, I'd still say that Doris probably trumps that. Another one, just because I absolutely love and adore this unit, is if you do happen to have Crimson Armin, once you get past, so we're assuming you're past that early Wyvern 13 grind, and you still haven't used your bottle, Crimson Armin is definitely a big carry for you guys early on in Guild Wars and early Arena, early RTA, because the bulkiness is just something that new players' gear can't get through. So having Carmen early on is definitely something, if you have this Crimson Armin, definitely something to consider. I mean, there's a lot of these 4 stars that are very good to consider. But let's see. Any of these others in the Moonlights? I wouldn't say Infernal Kawazu. I wouldn't do that early on. I wouldn't do... Yeah, I'm not seeing any of the light darks, so let's just go now to the RGBs real quick. So as far as, again, Adventurer Roz would technically totally 100% count for one of those. I definitely feel he's a good investment. I wouldn't necessarily pop Montmorency just because you're going to get a bunch of these at some point, and chances are you're going to be doing that to Angelica is a good one. If you're trying to get going early on and you need the Wyvern tank, Angelica can be a good one. Most of these are 5-star. Most of these are 5-star, 5 stars, 5 stars. As far as new players, I'm not seeing too much popped up that I've already leveled up. Don't use it on Mui, it's a waste. Yeah, those are pretty much it. From what I can see, that would probably be my major choices, would be those right there. So, I've used it for dumb stuff, I've used it for smart stuff. I'm not gonna lie, because I was so tight on experience that day and fodder for the 3 things I had just leveled up that day, I bottled Arby. I had to, why not? I was getting a bunch of 5 stars done. I already used all my fodder. So I popped one just on Arby once we got his, because I actually had the fodder set up to do I had the fodder set up to do the 2 5 stars. Used the bottle to get his 6-star. So, I promoted the 2 6 stars out of fodder, and then I hit Arby immediately with the bottle. So I had 3 6 stars in one day. I just recently, the bottle that we just got, I used here. I'll just be honest. I used it on Eaton. When you get to the point where I'm at, you're like, what do I use this on? I literally looked at my MLs and I said, which one's already triple S? Eaton. Okay. Big boy is now, the wall is now 6-star. So we'll be doing some fun stuff with that. So that's going to wrap up the promotional video. Now, again, I know this was slightly a little bit less planned than what I normally do. Are you guys lucky for me today? Nope. Next time. But I wanted to do this and kind of walk you through the entire steps of it because it is confusing to new players. And I'll be honest, I scratched my head early on when I was first learning to promote. So if I didn't have the help of Twitch chat and Discord, I probably would have gone mad myself. But now I've done it a bazillion times with 76 now? 6 stars, I think is what we just achieved today. I'd say that's pretty good for 400 days. I will call, yep, 76 6-star units in 451 days, I think is where we're at now. Many more to come. We still have a bunch of units to 6-star, and I'm excited for the journey. If you guys really, seriously, if you have any questions about this, I'll try my best to help you out in the comments below. Again, use the timestamps to go back and forth to see anything that you want. I'm going to make sure that we do have the timestamps linked to the category that's not listed, which was the going over the potion, so that you guys can go back and watch that again. But I am I'm excited for you guys. This is the next step, getting these units, start promoting up. Now you're going to start working on heading towards your Wyvern team. You're going to start heading into getting more of your PvE done. I can't wait to see you guys grow further, and just watching from what I've seen with the comments and talking to you guys in Discord, watching you grow, especially watching the MILF Hunter group grow. That's actually really, really awesome seeing them take on Ancient Inheritance like a champ, and I'm excited, really. I really am excited for all of you. The Awaken update is such an amazing update, and we've got many, many more things to talk about. So you guys take care, and we'll see you in the next one.